Welcome to the Dutch in Denver podcast. I'm Dutch. I'm in Denver, or relatively close to. Big week today. I don't know if it's a big week or just lots of stuff to talk about again. I'm tired though. It's going to be some of the same. Um, Politics will be first. Sports will be second. So if you want to tune into the sports stuff, that's towards the end. um, I feel like I shouldn't have to explain this, but we're going to start with the GameStop thing again. Because there are a lot of people that are up in arms about GameStop, the shorting the stock, the short squeeze, all that. Hedge funds are evil, blah, blah, blah. So, again, a hedge fund shorted GameStop. People found out and they tried to short squeeze. No problems there. Shorting a stock is not a problem. It's a valid investment strategy. I feel like not everyone understands that. And that could be because not everyone understands the stock market. And by no means am I an expert. I'm working on getting us an expert. We'll just see if they'll talk to me. I'm not sure they want to go on record as part of this debacle that is my podcast. But first of all, I will generally explain a hedge fund. A hedge fund is not, like, hedge just means they're hedging bets. It is a brokerage house that uses a specific strategy. Okay, that strategy could be like a short long, or again, if and it's in a certain field. So if you're, let's say donuts. Okay, if you're a short long hedge fund about donuts, if you know of a donut company that's gonna do really well, you buy a bunch of their stock. And if you know a donut company that's gonna do really poorly, well, you think based on research and stuff, you're gonna short a bunch of that donut company stock. Okay, so now you're covered on your both sides of the aisle. You not only can sell stock, but you can buy it. So you've kind of covered all your bases. There's nothing wrong with shorting a stock. There's nothing illegal. It's just an investment strategy. Hedge funds have gotten a lot of bad names, from whatever people want to call them, or how politicians or poor people label them, unfortunately. But you don't have to be a billionaire to run a hedge fund. You can run your own hedge fund with $100. You just need to have a strategy. You just have to hedge stocks based on your strategy. So you can do a long short. You can do an option strategy, which again, you buy a stock and then you sell an option on that stock. So if you buy it at 20, your option's at 25 for a certain amount of time, and you sell that option for $1. So theoretically, you bought the stock at 19. I know I said 20, but it's actually 19 because you sold the option for $1. So your exposure is minus $1. And if it hits, X dollars at a certain time, great. If it doesn't, bad, whatever. It's the option. So that's another hedge fund strategy. There's tons of them. You could only buy good stocks, and that could be your strategy. You could only short, but none of it's illegal. And if someone is doing something illegal, then yes, they're bad people. But just running a hedge fund doesn't make you a bad person. It's just using a particular strategy to invest or divest in the market, which also can make you money. So the way the GameStop thing went, it's not the hedge funds to blame per se. Who's to blame is Robin Hood and the government, where they kind of stepped in and they stopped novice traders or everyday guys from buying or selling this GameStop when they allowed the hedge funds to continue to do it. Again, we covered this, and I don't understand. Maybe not everybody listens to this podcast, which is a horrible shame. Everyone should listen to it. You'll learn something. Probably learn more bad words than not. But, I mean, that's where we're at. And like I said last time, it hasn't done anything. Nothing's changed. I mean, yeah, the market's been down and up and blah, blah, blah. But we haven't beat the hedge fund. You don't want to beat the hedge fund. Join one. a lot of them have solid investment strategies, including shorting stocks. That's a solid investment strategy. These people aren't crooks or slimy or anything like that. They're just avid investors. I mean, if you pick a strategy to advertise using sex, you're not slimy. You're just smart. So these guys have picked a way to hedge their bets that they short sell stocks. That's not bad. It's not against the law. It's nothing. It's just the way things work. And for people to portray them as horrible, evil people is wrong. Unless they break the law or do something immoral. Then it is wrong. But the majority of them don't. The SEC is pretty on top of stuff. They crack down on this shit. You guys should be more worried about, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Pelosi buying a bunch of, I think Tesla or some shit, right before Biden announces that they're going, all carbon Nazi. That, I'd question. But then again, it's not insider trading because Biden doesn't own Tesla, things like that. But, the government can do shady shit. So I'd be more worried about them than I would about the hedge funds and the Reddit groups. Discord shut down the Reddit group. I don't agree with Discord doing that, but Discord said it was about a fraud thing. It might have been. It just is very coincidental. So again, go after Discord for silencing these people. Go after, the government for stepping in. Go after Robinhood for shutting this down. Don't be mad at the hedge funds for, doing what they do. And if they are billionaires and they call in a couple favors, well, yeah, some perks come with the job. Others, maybe not. I don't know. But that's the GameStop thing. We gotta get over this. You didn't do anything. But that kind of goes into the next thing is the cancel culture. That crap has got to go. I'm so tired of people being canceled for their opinions. The My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, however you say it, I don't care. He got permanently banned from Twitter because he kept saying stuff about the election. Stop with that shit. You cancel certain people, but you let others go nuts. And that'll be part of our stupid tweets this week, because we have a couple good ones. Maybe just one good one, but we have a story that goes along with it, and we'll get to that. But quit fucking canceling people you don't agree with. Talk to them. That's probably the best thing. And we covered this last week too, that we'll never be able to talk because we have fundamental disagreements. One side's fucking crazy, the other is bordering on fucking crazy. But we gotta stop. We gotta stop canceling people. This is just the 1A crowd has got to step up. And the 1A crowd that says we have to cancel people, that it's an oxymoron. It's the direct opposite. I guess Lindell's doing all right though. A bunch of people are buying his stuff just out of spite. I'm not sure what the My Pillow is. I hope it's not like the purple pillow. That jelly crap, I don't want to sleep on that. And I pass out pretty much anywhere. But we gotta stop with this shit. We absolutely have to stop. No unity. No, just stop with this cancel culture bullshit. I'm still not going to wear 2 masks. And this is going to lead into some other stuff. But Fauci gets up there and says, don't wear a mask, wear a mask. Wear 2. Don't wear 2. But maybe wear 2. We'll wait on the sign. Fucking Christ, people. You have got to start thinking logically. Clearly you can't think for yourself. So I'm done preaching about that. But you got to think logically. Okay, and just understand 2 masks aren't going to work because 2 masks are still going to fog up your glasses. Fuck, put on 7 masks, and then you'll suffocate and die, and you won't have to worry about coronavirus at all. There's a solution. Or let coronavirus kill you. I don't fucking care. Just enough. Again, I'm super tired of this, and this is what's going to bring me into one of the big stories here. So, the geniuses, and I'm not going to blame them for this, but the New York Times published an opinion piece on the second, which I don't know when you're listening to this, but this was the second. And they gave a voice to a crazy person. And I don't mean a crazy person, well, I don't agree with them. They're crazy. This person is actually psychotic and needs to seek professional help. So what this is an opinion piece by a mother of two, and she's a creative writing teacher at some college. Shocking. And I think it's a coronavirus thing, and it's about her kids, and let's just dive in. So I'm going to read some of it, and maybe I'm a good reader. I mean, I'm a good reader, but maybe you won't like my voice. It doesn't matter, but you're going to hear some of this. So the piece starts out, the first line of this piece is, I have spent the past 11 months filling my children with fear. That's it. That's the first sentence of this. For 11 months, this woman has tried to fill her children with fear. They're 9 and 6, by the way, which we'll get to that. But that's where this nonsense has brought us. She openly admits, for 11 months, I've been filling my children with fear. Little Johnny, you were going to fucking die. That is what she's told her children for 11 months. And then we'll get to the obvious does. She says, don't touch that. Lift your mask over your nose. Keep 6 feet away. These are exclamation points, too. She's chosen not to water down any of the reasons explained to my 6 and 9-year-old sons what coronavirus is and about how it affects and how many people have died and continue to die daily in the United States. So, yeah, she just scared the piss out of her 6 and 9-year-old. She's especially preachy with her youngest. Some of this is paraphrasing. Some of it's quotes. You can just probably Google New York Times psychotic woman story and this will probably pop up. So she's been preaching to her youngest. She's talked about his lungs, about the pulmonologist who told them he had tachycardia at 18 months and then later asthma. We've talked about the emergency medical visits, all the nebulizers and inhalers that fill our kitchen cabinet. Again, bullshit. Not all. You have one nebulizer. I had a grandfather with COPD and all that stuff. You get one nebulizer, and you have one inhaler. One, two. Okay, you don't have a shitload of them, unless you got big problems. And again, I understand COVID is bad for people with pre-existing conditions, comorbidities. Sorry, so is the flu. But it doesn't affect kids like we think it does, or like they're lying to you about. So that's her first paragraph. And then, it just goes on from here. The next is, and I quote, he gets it. He's washed his hands so often that his knuckles have turned red and raw. This is child abuse. You have scared your child into self-harm. And I know that's a little bit drastic because some people have, cut themselves or had cut their kids. But literally, this woman has terrified her 6-year-old into self-harming himself. He washes his hands so much that they are red and raw. The insanity. We're 2 paragraphs in, and I'm going to snap. So, she says, what happens after you spend 11 months filling your children with fear, and then the source of dread arrives? So she has spent a year terrifying her kids about coronavirus. And spoiler alert, they get it. They don't die, so don't worry. But she has, for a year, been like, little Johnny, if you get this, you are fucked. And then little Johnny gets it. And the rest of it is, how is she going to do this? So we can continue. And I know this isn't funny, but some of it is a little bit comical. And I feel bad for the kids. This lady needs to be committed, and her husband, all the kids need to be taken away. This is a new level of psychotic. And I feel bad for the kids. But at a certain point, I mean, it is comical. We are destroying an entire generation. You know, these kids go to school and their teachers up there with their masks talking like this to them. You know, they're 2 years old trying to develop a sense of language or something like that, and this is what you get. You're gonna have a generation of Peanuts kids where the adults are. I mean, it's insanity. So she continues in the piece, So after 11 months of terrifying my children, what do I do when the youngest, the 6-year-old, gets it? Is there a name? Is there a name for the feeling just before you tell your sensitive 6-year-old that the threat is no longer abstract? He's tested positive. Oh shit. Part of this is going to be a little bit nutsy cuckoo too, because she'll say they're asymptomatic, which means no symptoms at all. So why'd she test them? I mean, are you just, I don't know, like compulsively testing your kids every day? Like a crazy fucking person. This is what this is. And I encourage you to read the whole article. But yeah, I mean, so why? We'll start there. So again, he doesn't believe me at first. I hardly believe me. Just creative writer, clearly puff piece, crazy fucking nonsense. Her son looks at her and then back at the father. We had the most reliable tests. Were they the PCR tests? Because it turns out those aren't that reliable. It's kind of nuts. And then his older brother, cups his hands over his mouth in disbelief. Because again, you've spent a year terrifying your kids about something, and then it turns out they haven't. So yeah, these kids are probably scared fucking shitless. And you have no one to blame but you. And then her kid says in his wobbly voice, I don't need to remind him that the teacher tested positive and that she, is at home convalescing with a fever. That's why she had to get the test, because the teacher had it. But now we all have to do it because its kids have to do it. And she's a little uncertain because she spent a whole life inexhaustibly telling this kid, hey, don't touch any handrails, don't touch walls, don't touch the gates as we pass our Brooklyn sidewalks. I mean, he is 6. They literally touch everything. That's what kids do. Don't touch pregnant. Just scare the fuck out of these guys. Don't touch your face, blah, 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 blah. So then it goes on even more. All the while, don't do all this because you'll die, little Johnny. There's so many people have died, and you're next if you get this. And then he gets it, and she doesn't know how to cope. So they took the test, blah, blah. And for the 2.5 days since she took the test, this lady has been coddling her child. She helps him blow his nose, wash his face. Why don't we make that face all raw and red? And she even drank his orange juice for him. So the kids got COVID, so you've just engaged in getting COVID too. To, I don't know, immortalize your fears or something. So now she gets her shit together and she goes and buys masks for everyone. And then we designate areas of the house for people. The living rooms for the 6-year-old, I assume, they build him some kind of fort, and he understands the implications, and he quote crumbles to the floor. I don't want to have COVID. He cries. Now I don't know if he cries, kind of like people, crying like, no, don't kill me, or literally cries tears. But you have no one to blame but yourself for this, you crazy bitch. You have done this to him. You have terrified your child for a year. And then all of a sudden he gets something that's almost completely harmless to him. Even with comorbidities, kids survive far more than someone who's 80. But you have terrified your family, and as soon as the threat becomes real, he's crying and you're all like, oh, woe is me. You're an abuser, and fuck you. So then the kid says, will I die? Will you? I mean, valid questions. You've poisoned his mind for a year. You have terrified him beyond belief for 1 year. I'm sorry, 11 months. if coronavirus kills everyone, and if he gets it, he's gonna die too. So then she says, she'd wanted her children to be afraid of this virus so that they'd be protected. Fear doesn't protect you from anything. Do you not understand that? If you're afraid of getting shot, it doesn't mean you won't get shot. If you're afraid of getting in a car wreck, it doesn't mean you're not going to get a car wreck. Now, you can be afraid of not getting in a car wreck, which makes you drive more cautiously. But the other idiot next to you isn't going to drive any more cautiously. Fear doesn't protect you. Fuck, I don't understand why people don't get this. We'll get to why they don't get it. So, the family, the community, blah, 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 blah. She's so perpetually anxious. Someone who relies on therapy and medication to breathe evenly. I mean, she's heavily medicated. She's the one sucking down into a paper bag because she can't control herself, and she just pops some more pills. Her children have seen her distraught over 7-day averages again. She is glued to the TV, glued to the, oh my God, so many people, and you need to be scared too, little Johnny. You're going to fucking... They've been cautious with loved ones. And this is where it says, and quote, an immoral president who helped accelerate the spread. That's all you need to know about this article. That's it. This is someone with extreme Trump derangement syndrome who actually believes that President Trump had anything to do with the spread of COVID-19. Actually believes this. But fuck me, she's spent a year terrifying her children who are not even 10 yet. The size of her son Saab is proportional to the extra large apprehension I sewed into him for 11 months. How can this be unraveled? Again, you have terrified the fuck out of your kids for 11 months, and now you're like, oh God, how do I fix this? You don't. You have ruined these children forever. And it's your fault, and they should be taken away from you. I'm sorry, that's kind of brutal, but it absolutely should happen. You are a goddamn fucking moron. Actually, you're not even stupid. You are psychotic. You need professional help from I don't even know a psychologist can do it. She needs a psychiatrist, an actual professional doctor who can fix her. Well, it'll never happen. But so then it goes on with some stats. There's been blah 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 cases of COVID-19 in children as of this date in the American Academy of Pediatrics. Blah blah blah. Children account for 13% of cases in the United States, but there's a caveat. This is a quote. There's a caveat. These numbers most likely reflect an underreporting. So it's not an underreporting, it's just underreporting. Since children may have no symptoms or only mild ones and may not have been tested, of course, it is underreporting. I can't believe that no more kids don't have this and aren't dying in the streets. That doesn't fit the narrative. So now we have to go ahead and change that. So what she does is she tells her son everything's going to be okay, and she tries to mean it. I say that being asymptomatic is a good sign, and that he has a strong immune system. She also said that he didn't because, comorbidities and asthma and all that crap is not a strong immune system, especially with a respiratory disease. But, let's go with it. He's got healthy organs. Her husband and her carry out the twin bed out of the room he shares with a brother, so a COVID factory. Even though they've been breathing on each other all week, they gotta do something, blah, 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 blah. So, they put this kid in the living room. He's got his own bathroom. They make it sound exciting. It's like, your room, your bathroom, blah, blah. Just, again, crazy fucking shit. I mean, and then they try and explain to him just nonsense. So, moving onward, they do understand that, asthma does have some risks, which, yes, the kid apparently has asthma and things like that, but he's going to be all right. And this is where the real tear jerking starts. So they send the kid to the castle with his iPad, and then in between, work meetings, she delivers food. Um, and the isolation isn't going to last because now the CDE says 10 days. Actually, I think it's down to 7 now. It used to be 14, but 10, 7, 14, 3. Who the fuck cares? Let's just make up shit as we go to Terrifier. This kid's going to be fucked forever. Do you understand that? So after a few hours, he hollers mom's name with a muffled voice through multiple layers. The door, the comforter, and the mask. So he's got the mask on in the house. He's under the comforter, and the doors are closed. That little fucker's not getting out anywhere. Your Highness. Yeah, this is back to the Queen. So she pokes her covered face. She's got a mask on too. But I wonder how close that bed is to the living room. I thought he was in the living room. Do you have doors to your living room? I normally don't. They're just opened. So she looks in there and says, what do you need, little Johnny? And Johnny stares at her with watery eyes. I'm embellishing a little bit here, but then he opens his arm wide, like. And then the psychotic bitch sees a flicker of panic in his face. Actually, let me just read this verbatim. So the kid opens his arm. Then he opens his arms wide. And I'll start with quote. There's a flicker of panic in his face. A question mark that I won't approach. Or maybe I'm projecting. Jesus, you think? You're projecting just a little bit? For a blink, I hesitate. I worry he sees this. I'm afraid of my own child. And you should add, I am psychotic and need to be locked away from other people before I do any more damage than I've already done. Think about that. This woman has ruined this child's life. He will forever remember the day his mom was afraid of him. I mean, that's serial killer shit. You're like, oh, little Billy's like cutting heads off rabbits and stuff. I'm terrified of him. And those kids end up messed up. This woman has done the exact same thing to this poor kid. Probably the brother for that matter. Then she goes on, the apprehension will persist with my older son when a week later he tests positive too. Well, fuck me. Now 2 of them got it. Now we have to isolate them all and good God. This is just... The kid he's going to need a lot of psychotherapy. This woman needs to be put down like a crazy rabid animal. And if you sympathize with this, you're fucking stupid, and I'm sorry, but you absolutely are. She finishes the article with, on his warm bed, my son and I wrap arms around each other tight and did not speak a word. So finally, I guess she got over her fear and took the COVID on. This lady is Courtney Softness. She's written a book about, I hopefully assume something not this stupid. She's the director of creative writing program at Drew University. If you have kids, don't fucking send them to Drew University. Holy shit. But this article is the embodiment of the crazy that has happened. And again, if you sympathize with this, I can't help you. I mean, I would love to try. You can email me. You can message me. If you've messaged me, I'll even give you my phone number to talk you through this. That if you can relate to this, if you think this woman is justified or anything like that, you're out of your goddamn mind as well. This is absolutely insanity. what this woman has done to her two children. I'm not blaming the husband as much, not because I'm a sexist, but because he didn't write the fucking article. But he's just as culpable. Both of these people need their kids taken. This is a form of child abuse. They have psychologically damaged these kids for untold years and probably forever. I mean, I've never, my parents have never been, I don't think, afraid of me, especially when I'm fucking 6. I think they could handle me. But this is what your country has done to you. You have bought into this garbage for a year, and some of you, apparently, Courtney is going to continue to. These kids are. I'm not sure I can do. Yeah, I have nothing more to say. This is just absolute insanity, and I feel bad for the kids. The parents should be, taken out and put down, but the kids. All right, I guess we'll shortly cover some more COVID. So with the shots, I don't understand what everybody's fucking problem is trying to get these things. A, it's a COVID shot. It's not a vaccine. Vaccines prevent things. This doesn't prevent. I don't know. There's some story. Somebody who got the vaccine, I'm calling it the COVID shot, already has COVID again, or now, or whoever. It doesn't work. If it makes your symptoms more mild, great. Blah, blah. It's the COVID shot. Just like the flu shot. It doesn't keep you from getting the flu. It just makes your symptoms much, much more mild. Okay? So it's not a vaccine. But what I understand is a couple of talk radio shows I listen to during the day. I don't know, there's like one or two elderly guys that do like producer, I don't know, stage guy, I don't know. But they're complaining that, I'm on all these lists and I haven't got the shot yet. I have an uncle who can't figure out how to get the shot yet. My father's over 70 and he's had both rounds already, like a month ago. And it was super easy. Like, yeah, it's ready. I'm going to go get it. It's like, I don't think you should do that, but that's another story. But he had no problems at all. He got it. So I don't get it. I don't understand what the issue is. Maybe you guys are going to the wrong place. Maybe you're not important. That could be it too. The government might want unimportant people to die. Let's just go with the conspiracy theories. But I don't want unimportant people to die. I want stupid people to. No, I won't say that either. Just. Alright. Hey, Joey, where's my stimulus, fucker? I mean, you guys got everything. Ram it through there. This crazy dude, Plugs or Grandpa Joe or Sleepy Joe, whatever you want to call him. Maybe Congress or all his buddies. They got control of everything. What does it matter? 4 trillion. 1.9 might not be enough. Let's do 4. 4 is our entire budget. Yeah, that's our whole federal government budget. Defense, welfare programs, entitlement, all that shit. 4 trillion. I think it's a little shy, actually. It's like 3 point something. And he thinks it might need to be about 4. So we will double that for this. Again, open the economy. But yeah, you guys have you got everything. You got the House, the Senate. Just jam it through there. Send me my money. Oh no, some of us won't get it. I wonder who some of us won't be. We'll just be redistributing wealth once again. Alright, so enough of that. Let's go on to fun, entertaining things that I enjoy. I enjoy the politics stuff and some of it. It makes me sad because the world is full of psychotic, stupid people. And on to sports. As you may or may not know, I'm a very huge St. Louis Cardinals fan. I love baseball. I used to be Broncos fan, but I'm done with football, especially the NFL, because I don't give a fuck about your political happenings. You're out of touch with reality. You have no concept of the real world. You have no opinion of any of this. So just shut the fuck up and play football. So I was done with that. I've actually, like I said, I've stuck to that. I've watched no football games or NFL games this year. College I'm still fine with because, those are kids. They don't, they do what they're told. But that's not the point. huge St. Louis Cardinals fan, but I do live in Denver, so the Rockies are over there, pissing on doorknobs and sticking forks in electrical sockets like the retards. But the point is that the Colorado Rockies traded Nolan Arenado to the St. Louis Cardinals. Great for the Cardinals. They will get an excellent, excellent third baseman. Let's be clear about something, though. Nolan Arenado is not the best third baseman in the league right now. If we're going to go all around, we can come up with some other names. And he sure as shit isn't the best to ever play the game. So let's just hold back there. But he is a very, very good baseball player. And I am very happy that he is a St. Louis Cardinal. He actually, came to the Cardinals, and the Rockies are going to pay $50 million. And we got to give up some prospects. Yeah, I'm super happy with it as a Cardinals fan. Now, as a Rockies fan, you guys got hosed, but no, you got absolutely fucked. The guy hated Colorado, though. You guys tried to screw him a couple years ago, and he was done after that. And I don't mean you fans, but Jeff Burdich and all that, the Monfords, the ownership. Monfords are the ownership, and Burdich is the GM. But they did this, okay? They tried to do it a couple of years ago, and they completely fucked that up. So they screwed him, and then he's hated it ever since. And he's finally got out. I mean, the dude, I'm sure he's ecstatic, especially to go to the Cardinals. Yeah. World Series team? No. Cardinals need some more starting pitching. It's good Waino's back, but I think he's too old. We need better starting pitching, or maybe not better, but more consistent. Flaherty, I think, will be our ace. We'll see, though. Hope springs eternal. I'm really looking forward to the season. It's going to be shitty with the COVID crap again. Still, people just making whatever. Where my problem lies, and this is where I'm going to have the most fun, is that there are Rockies fans and folks on the radio that are beside themselves over this Arenado thing. Which, yes, admittedly, the Rockies fucked this up. They got screwed in this trade. Everybody knows it, and the fans know it. But I tell you what, Rockies fans, you need to shut the fuck up. The Monfords have been doing this to you forever. Your GMs have been doing this to you forever. And you have just been too naive or stupid or just don't care to see it. This is not a new thing for the Rockies. They do not care about winning, no matter what they say. Actions speak louder than words. They don't care about winning. There's no action that is proven to me or anyone logically that they care about winning. Oh, but Dutchie, they made it to the World Series winning. That's the biggest fluke in the history of sports, okay? It's an anomaly, unexplainable. It'll never happen again. No, it just... Fuck you. They had continually screwed you for 25 plus years, and you have done nothing but buy tickets and more beer. But hey, man, we're going to go on the party deck like a bunch of... Rockies games are not baseball games, okay? They are a social event. And the Rockies are, I want to say top 5 in attendance. I think that's what I heard. I'm top 5. I mean, Yankees, Dodgers, Cardinals, Sox, Cubbies. Those are 5 teams. The Rockies are more than those 5. Somebody's missing out. Now, Coors Field might hold more fans than a couple of those stadiums, and that's how they get the numbers. But again, top 5 in attendance, shittiest team in baseball. And win-loss doesn't even come in. Just shittiest team, shittiest GM, shittiest ownership, stupidest fans. And if you take any exception to being a dumb Rockies fan, I can prove it to you. They've been doing this to you for 25 years, and you keep going, this is our year. It's never going to be your year until you get rid of the Monforts or you get rid of Burdage. And you won't do it because you'll keep going to the games, because you want to go on the party deck. You want to be under the cabana and play cornhole. I've been on that party deck against my will, but I've been up there. And if you don't turn around and look at the field, you have no fucking idea there's a baseball game going on behind you. None. It's like being at a Brodo bar. But yeah, just keep on going to the games, and you can have your whole group of morons fucking talking to each other, a whole section just talking to each other about what you guys did this week. Who gives a shit about the game? But yet, when they get rid of someone that Denver media has told you is a good player, you're all pissed. Which he is a good player. But you don't give a shit. You just want to go to the games. Win or lose, Rocky fans don't care because they don't know baseball. Or they don't care. And some of them do, and those are the ones that have gone by the wayside. Season ticket sales have gone down. But apparently that doesn't matter because single game ticket sales are replacing them. It's a social event, and you have no room to talk until stop going to the games. When no one shows up, you'll see a change. I promise you that. But that'll never happen. There's, Denver Sports Radio is, opening day is one of the best days in Denver. No, it's not. To be honest with you, opening day is a goddamn shit show. It is a bunch of drunk fucks downtown who 99% of them aren't even going to the game. They're just there to go get wasted, and they took the day off. And then the ones that do go to the game have been there all day getting wasted to go to the game. It's not a fun time. It's a shit show of idiots. No one cares. It's like fucking Mardi Gras for baseball. Okay, it's not an opening day like in St. Louis or an actual opening day where people are excited about their teams. This is an excuse for idiots to go get drunk and then go into the game and get drunk and make it even worse for the rest of us. And that is basically a Rockies game. Is a whole bunch of people getting super fucked up and not paying attention to the game at all. Until they sober up the next day and be like, oh, wait a minute. One of our good players is gone? What position did he play? Was he like a bench coach? Or I don't even know the fucking positions. I had a great time last night. I took my Tinder date out there to Coors Field, and we hung out on the party deck most of the night. And oh, I'm sorry, what's that? How many innings are in a baseball game? I don't know, there's like 4 quarters or something. That is the fandom that is the Colorado Rockies. And if you disagree with me, again, you can get in touch with me. I'll throw the social stuff out there at the end. But if you disagree, be honest with me. How many Rockies games do you go to? Oh, I go to a lot, Dutch, because I love the Rockies. You're stupid. They are not a good product. It's like buying a pair of jeans. Oh, goddamn, I was going to say jeans with holes in it, but people actually pay money for that shit. That's like going to Home Depot and buying one of those orange Homer buckets. It's got a bunch of holes and cracks in it. And you buy it, and you put water in it, and it doesn't work. You're like, oh, look, I'm just going to go buy another one. And the other one's got a bunch of holes and shit in it. And every time that happens, you get pissed. But then you just start drinking. You don't care about it. You just keep doing this over and over again and hoping that one time you'll get a Home Depot bucket that isn't smash as shit. When what you actually should do is, A, stop buying Home Depot buckets, all of you, and then the Home Depot will be like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe we shouldn't smash our buckets with sledgehammers before we sell them. And then they'll sell you a whole bucket. A whole bucket, playoff contending team. Or at least pretend like you're trying. That'd probably be the best. Pretend. But they don't even pretend. Monfort got up there and said the Rockies are a big enough market to support a contending team. And again, I go back to, they're like top 5 in attendance. That seems like a good enough market to me to contend. But again, I don't understand sports, apparently. Or finance or anything like that. I guess if you just put a shitty product up there, people from Colorado will show up. Alright, in other news, I'm going to start selling broken buckets. Just call them the Rockies. They're like $9 each. They don't do shit at all, but I'll get drunk and swear at you for an hour. No, not an hour, like 2 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm tired of hearing about the Rockies fans like this is the last straw. Okay, put up or shut up. Do what I did. The NFL, this is the last straw. I will watch the NFL again when someone apologizes, and it doesn't have to be a formal, but like the NBA did, it'd be like, hey man, we can't do that Black Lives Matter shit anymore. Nobody cares about that, and blah blah blah. Oh, yeah. So when the Broncos jump on that and say, hey, you know what, we made a mistake. We probably shouldn't take a political stance, especially a terrorist group political stance. Fight me on that. They are. Okay? If you're still thinking that Black Lives Matter is a social movement, you also are a fucking moron. You're probably like this crazy bitch who tried to scare her kids into dying, or a Rockies fan. And I love some Rockies fans, I'm sorry. But most of you are stupid. So either, like I said, do what I did and just say, hey, no, I'm not doing it anymore. And watch, the NFL is way down. Things will change. It won't be overnight. Most of you, need this instant gratification bullshit. But you won't get that. But yeah, it's the long game. Boycott them. Stop giving them fucking money. And then you will get a better team. Now, if you just don't care, those are the fans I'm okay with. Okay? Because you self admit, I don't give a fuck. I just want to go to Coors Field and drink with my friends. Okay. I mean, I suggest you go to a bar. It's probably cheaper. I don't know. Denver bar is kind of expensive. But you don't have to buy a ticket. Yeah, you got to pay. Bar seats are more comfortable. There you go. And you can mingle around better than wandering through the stands like a drunken moron. But yeah, just stop doing it. Stop paying for this crap. Or shut the hell up. And so far, you've continued to pay for a garbage product. So when it continues to be garbage, shut the fuck up. That's all I'm saying. Just you have no say. It's like the people who are like, oh, this government's fucked. Did you vote? No. Shut up. You have no say in anything. The Avs look good. The Avalanche do not look too bad this year. Um, our offense is ridiculously awesome. Injuries are hurting us a little bit, like last year. I mean, I don't know what's up with that. I've talked to a couple people about this that maybe we don't have an enforcer, but hockey isn't really built for that anymore. But I think we do need someone to maybe protect our players, or I don't know. The injury thing, we can touch on that. Let's come back to that, or come back around. I don't know, whatever Biden's lady says, the ginger. Tell you what though, we need a goalie and some defensemen. I know we have some defensemen out, and I don't know if they're just out of position or not actual defensemen, but we do have some excellent defensemen. It's just when we don't, we give up goals. The excuse me, the most important thing is we need a goalie, and Grubauer. Consistency is what kills me with him. The guy's got like 3 shutouts this year. Fantastic. But then he also gets like just destroyed some games. And that doesn't make sense to me. Like, how can you be perfect one game and literally the shittiest? I could do better the next game. The other thing I think with Grubauer is he doesn't quite understand the position as well as he should, because there's a lot of times that I think that he's a little bit out of position, or someone shoots it right at him and it like goes wide of the net and he just freezes there like he caught it like some Statue of Liberty trying to get a photo for Sports Illustrated. And then, he doesn't slide over to the left or the right and someone wraps around and dumps it in off the rebound. His reaction sometimes is like spot on, and then other times it's like a 3 second delay, and it's like, wow, man, they've scored 7 goals in 3 seconds. Fuck's wrong with you? What's going on? So the consistency is an issue for me. Fortunately, I think we can outscore almost. We can outscore everyone every single game if we so choose. Sometimes come out a little flat, a little wonky, but that I think that's part of the defensemen that our forwards and wings have to spend more time in the zone helping clear. I don't know. I don't want to get down on them though. I think they win the cup this year. They are so much better than everyone else offensively. It's not even funny. Kel Marker last night, he broke some dude's ankles, and it wasn't even. Uh, it was a beautiful, beautiful move. The kid is going to be a. He is a superstar, and he's only going to get better. The whole offensive section of the Avs is fantastic. Defense, great. Needs a little work. Goalie, good, but not great. What does that bring us to? Almost the end. Oh, all right. We can do stupid tweets. Let's find this here. So this one's not only stupid, but it might be a little bit offensive. I got two of them. So this is the first one, and this is from Michael Beschloss. I don't know. He's a verified account or whatever, but this is the tweet here. On both September 11th, 2001 and January 6th, 2021, terrorist haters of democracy tried to attack our Capitol and Congress. But on January 6th, they actually managed to invade the building and put our leaders and our democracy in danger. We have a close call and must never forget. I'm sorry, we had a close call and never forget. If you have the audacity to compare what happened on January 6th to what happened on 9/11, fuck you. You are a scumbag in the most... Oh, you were a piece of shit beyond all belief. The differences between 9/11 and January 6th are so vast and wide. I could do 900 podcasts just based on that. Secondly, it's not an attack on our democracy. We're not a democracy, you fucking tool. And again, if you believe we're a democracy, you're stupid. And I've told everyone this before. We're not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. That's it. We're not a democracy. We have democratic elements, but we are not a democracy. 9/11 was not an attack on our democracy, you fucking toolbag. Also, 9/11 wasn't an attack on the Capitol and Congress. It was the Pentagon on the World Trade Center. Now you can, infer what you will or imply like a dipshit, but to compare those two, Sir Michael Beschloss, whoever the fuck you are, at BESCHLOSSDC, you're stupid. And I can't believe you have made it this far in life. I don't have anything else to say about this. I'm running out of gas. This has been super tiring. So then the other one also is kind of funny. And this is from Disclosed TV. I don't really know. Some people that I trust retweeted it and blah, blah, blah. So it might be right. It probably isn't. Who gives a shit? But it's interesting. So the tweet goes, just in. New corona... So this isn't the stupid tweet because I can't find the response. But this is the tweet that is adding to the stupidity. Bingo. Okay, so this just in. New COVID-19 infections are down 44% in the U.S. and 30% globally in the last 3 weeks. Good job, guys. Wearing 7 masks have obviously done something. Oh, no, but you didn't say... Okay. The WHO, the World Health Organization, those commie fucks, experts are baffled about the, quote, phenomenon and say vaccines cannot be the main driver. You want me to explain the phenomenon to you? Biden was inaugurated. The hoax is up. The gig is over. It's not as bad as it was. We can all go back to normal now that Orange Man Bad is gone. And thank you for that, fuckers. It has now come full circle. I tried to stick to sports and stuff, and then we did stupid tweets. I'll find some other dumb ones. Uh, if you guys have dumb ones, you can send them to me. At Dutch the Beast, that's the Twitter, or at Dutch in Denver. No, I just in. Dutch in the letter Denver. Those are the two Twitters. The rest is Dutch in Denver with an I. Facebook, Spotify, everywhere. Apple, iTunes. Go to anchor.fm slash Dutch the Beast. Anchor.fm slash Dutch in Denver. Listen to the podcast. Send us your messages, your questions. Give us some money if you want. Like the video, subscribe, share with your friends, do everything. I really appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate everything you do. And we will talk to you in the future. Bye.